NNRG.
Okay, so I believe this is another one of the Epyx sports titles. Could someone please explain to me why these things were so popular? Because I know Epyx made a lot of them, and I know they're ubiquitous, but I don't really understand it. But I guess maybe we'll find out with today's game, because we got World Games today, and we already got an intro here. This one looks to be Cyberpunk, or something like that. Wait, it's an X at the end, so it's Cyberpunks. So, like KS, but an X instead. Anyways, enough of that. Joystick button, spacebar. Oh, spacebar did it. Okay, so we got a screen here, which I'm going to have to censor slightly. And there we go, we got Epyx World Games, programmed by K-Byte, and a bunch of other people. And then we got some graphics credits, 1986. So let's get into it. Oh, it's gotta do more loading, really? I already sat through 20 seconds of it. I mean, you think I'd be used to it by now, but yeah, the Commodore 64 is a lot of loading a lot of the time. So I'm starting to understand the pain of that. And this looks kind of familiar. Like, we got compete in all the events, compete in some, compete in one, practice an event, number of joysticks, see world record, and include travelogue. Well, whatever that means. Well, last time we had one of these games, I figured the best way to go through it was just to practice the events in order. So, oh, we got a lot of them. Whoa, okay, so we got weightlifting, barrel jumping, cliff diving, slalom skiing, log rolling, bull riding, caber toss, and sumo wrestling. I know what most of those are. Caber toss, I don't even know what it means by caber, and barrel jumping, I don't even know what that is. It's like, I know what a barrel is, I know what jumping is, I did not know barrel jumping was a sport. Okay, let's go in order. So let's start with weightlifting. So next event, weightlifting. And I've actually already got the manual pulled up for this game because it's an Epyx sports title, which means the controls might not be too obvious. So what I'm going to challenge myself to do with these 8 different events is I'm going to try to figure out the controls myself at first, and if I can't figure it out, I'm going to look at the manual. So we'll see how that goes. See if I get them all 8 right, or get all 8 wrong, or get some of them right, some of them wrong. Let's find out. Weightlifting. The scene for this event is Russia, home of some of the world's best Olympic lifters. Soviets have ruled the Iron Games since 1960, when 360-pound Leonid Zabansky squashed his competition by hoisting 1,262 pounds in 3 lifts. That's a lot of weight. Okay, so let's move on from there. And yeah, I'm probably going to butcher some of the international names that come up during this, because I only speak English, I gotta flip the disc. And because I only speak English, that means it's sometimes hard to get things right. So, do I do spacebar now, or... Okay, joystick button to continue. I mean, realistically speaking, these loading times aren't terrible, but they are kind of frequent. So, practice which event? I thought we chose the weightlifting. Okay, it looks like we have 2 events we can choose from, either snatch or clean and jerk, which I'm guessing those are 2 different kinds of, like 2 different methods of weightlifting. Oh, let's just go with the snatch here. So, current weight is 75 kilograms. Please select the weight. Oh, okay, so you can raise it above 75. Out of curiosity, how high does it go? It goes up to 225. So, nowhere close to that Olympic record, but... I don't know. Do we just leave it at 75? Let's make it a little tougher. Let's go halfway. Let's go 125. So, push the button, begin lift. Okay, guys breathing in and out. Oh, push down. Okay, he's looking at it. He's still looking at it. Do I hit the button or... Oh, push up. And then he drops it. Okay, let's just try that again. So push down. Like maybe I have to push up at a certain timing. Maybe I have to rapidly push up. Let's try rapidly pushing it. Nope, that doesn't do it. Well, we'll try wiggling up and down first. So, oh, he just immediately dropped it there, so that was clearly wrong. Okay, I don't have a clue how to lift this. Consulting the manual. Okay, so from what I can tell looking at the manual, all this really comes down to is alternating between holding back and forward on the joystick at alternating points during the lift. So basically there's going to be like certain ways the character is going to act, and then that's going to be the indication to switch directions, if that makes any sense. So I think anytime the character drops it is because I'm switching directions too soon, or possibly too late. So let's try this again. So we go down. So the trick is I'm going to press up, but then I'm going to have to press down again at a certain point. Excuse me, and then up again at a certain point, and we continue doing that until the weightlift is done. So push up, push down, and then... Oh, okay, I was supposed to push up there. So let's try it again. Push down, wait for him to get ready, and then push up, push down, then push up, and push down. Okay, I think I got it. Cool. Okay, moving on. Okay, so I'm just going to go in order down this list here. So for future reference, I'm going to be skipping this screen just to save us all a bunch of headaches. So barrel jumping is going to come next. There's actually an interesting thing I just noticed here. There's actually a dot. Yeah, flashing dot right there on the globe indicating where this event is taking place. So it says here, barrel jumping takes place in Germany, where skaters compete to jump over the most barrels. The sport started about 300 years ago in Europe, where ice skating was a common form of transportation. So it looks like this is basically exactly as it says. They're ice skating and jumping over barrels, and that sounds incredibly dangerous. Okay, so it says to press the button, and we got 3 barrels we gotta jump over. So how are we gonna do this? Push the button, guy gives a thumbs up. Okay, whenever you see someone in this kind of position in an Epyx sports game, I think that's the universal sign for rock the joystick left and right. And that's not doing anything. Okay, hold a direction, no. Oh no, it's got a rhythm to it. Okay, so I am doing it right, it's just you've got a... There's a very specific rhythm. So did I get it? No. So I'm guessing I had to push the button to jump, so I probably have to push the button. Well, I missed that. 0 cleared. I like how it says that. I'm guessing I have to push the button a second time to stick the landing, so let's do it, and nope. Maybe I have to keep the rhythm up after I go into the air, so let's do that, and no, that doesn't do it either. I give this one more shot before I consult the manual. I'm gonna guess I have to press down at the right moment to stick the landing. So let's get our speed back up again, and then hit the button, and got it! Did not need to read the manual. Okay, so we're 1 for 2 now in terms of figuring out these sports games. Next up is cliff diving. The cliffs of sunny Acapulco in Mexico provide the setting for this dangerous sport. High on a cliff named La Cabarda, the break in the rocks, courageous divers launch themselves from a craggy ledge toward the crashing surf far below. Whoa, what? Okay, this sounds like a terrible idea just on principle. Okay, the other thing it just occurred to me, this is called World Games, but so far we've had one Olympic sport and two kind of extreme sports, so we're kind of setting an interesting precedent here. Anyways, let's get into it. Okay, so it's asking me to select level. So I'm guessing the idea here is the further down we start, the easier this is to survive. Well, I guess we'll start at the bottom here. Now we hit the button, and then press your button. And now what? I'm literally not pressing anything. Oh, it said fault. Okay, clearly you have to push more stuff than just one button. So let's see about maybe holding some directions. Oh, that's gonna smart. Does that also count as a fault? Yeah, it counts as a fault. Okay, so it looks like the way you need to do this, because I pushed down to go down, and I'm guessing I'm going to push up to come back up. So the idea is push down to get yourself straight so that you land in the water correctly, and then push up to prevent yourself from hitting the bottom. So let's see if I'm right about that. So we'll do our thing here, wait a little, go down fully. No, I got the go down fully part right, but not the survive the impact part. Okay, go down. Oh, you just push left. I got a score of 22. And the guy's waving too. Practice again. I wonder what the score's based on. So like if I immediately hold down and then immediately go left once I hit the water, yeah, it's an even better score. Interesting. Let's go up a couple levels here. Let's try holding down so that we just go straight down right away. And then immediately turned left and I got a score of 58. I mean, let's go all the way to the top, see what happens. Going straight down, full speed. That's a terrible idea. And I hit the rocks and probably died. Except this is a video game. Okay, maybe I have to actually, like, hold forward while jumping, or to jump further? Oh, I can hold up to float further away from the rocks. Okay, well I survived the jump, and I got a score of 83. So, yeah, figured this one out too. 2 for 3. Slalom Skiing. Chamonix, France is the setting for this event, where the first Winter Olympics took place in 1924. Slalom ski racing dates from the earliest days of skiing in Norway, and modern slalom racing almost certainly evolved from original Nordic obstacle races. Slalom courses are designed as a test of reflexes, agility, precision, and control. Of course, speed is vital, but it rarely exceeds 25 miles an hour. Well, my guy's ready, so I guess push the button to start. Yeah. How do I... Whoop. Okay, this is not going well. Well, I'm doing it... It's... Okay, this... Yeah, that didn't go well. Okay, so... Let's try to weave through these flags as best I can. Oops. I'm not sure how well I'm doing. Oh, but I only just now said I missed one, so... Oh, now I missed 2. These are very laggy controls on this section. I have to wonder if there's maybe a way to, like, get, Oh, jeez. I just slammed into that flag. Yeah, how are you supposed to... Yeah, I'm not quite sure what's going on with this in terms of, like, being able to go faster or slower. If I just go straight, nothing seems to happen. Yeah, I'm not sure how you're supposed to control this. It is really hard to control this. It is incredibly stiff and laggy. I feel like I'm doing it right, but that this is just an incredibly difficult game. So I'm going to check the manual, but I don't know if this is not going to count as a reading the manual if I got the controls right. If I'm missing something, then it counts as reading the manual. Okay, it counts as reading the manual. So I was missing something here. So I had the left and right correct, but the idea is that if you hold the fire button down, you'll increase your responsiveness, but also increase your speed. So if you want to keep your speed, you don't want to... Yeah, that does kind of work. Yeah, it does kind of work, but it's... it takes a lot of getting used to. Oh, man. At least I'm not, crashing straight into things. This one is stupidly hard. Holy jeez, I don't think I want to play more of it. That's just ridiculous. Log rolling brings a visit to Canada, where two lumberjacks try to dislodge each other from a large floating log, spinning it back and forth until one contestant plunges into the icy river. The funny thing is that, being Canadian myself, I am well aware that we have some interesting sports that came about as a result of the forestry industry, and this is one of them. Okay, so there's going to be some kind of left and right motion to this, I'm going to guess, but let's see. Which one is me? Oh, I'm the one on the left who just fell to his doom. Okay. And they're cheering for the other guy, of course. And there's a shark. What? No! There would not be a shark in that river. Okay, take two. What? I was pushing the direction opposite the way that gauge was going. Was I supposed to push it towards the gauge? Okay, I'm pushing up and down and nothing's happening. In fact, the computer's just content to stand there. So it's like the moment I push any button is the moment things go wrong. I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm like mashing directions just instinctively. And still lost. Oh, it seems to be going somewhat okay now. I got the computer to get, like, A bar. No, it's... Oh, this time I fell forwards. Okay, it's saying here that I have to move the joystick left and right with rhythm of the log, and that I can press the fire button to sort of change the direction the log is rolling? I'm not sure I understand that here. So my guess is if I want to, like, mess the computer up, I've got to, like, get a direction change at some point. Well, no, that... I don't get it. Like, I mean, I know the controls now, and I don't get it. Bull riding, the most dangerous event in rodeo, a sport born over 100 years ago in the American West when cowboys challenged each other to contests of riding and roping for entertainment. Rider sits bareback on a wild bull weighing 2,000 pounds or more and holds onto a rope to avoid being thrown. When a rider falls, rodeo clowns draw the bull's attention away. Otherwise, the rider is very likely to die. Okay, so I have no idea what the controls on this one are going to be like, but let's keep to it. Let's see if I can figure it out. So, looks like we can choose our bull. Oh, that's hilarious. So, we have bulls of Ferdinand, Elmer, Bob, Tornado, Earthquake, and Joystick Port 1, which suggests that you can have a second player control the bull. That's hilarious. Okay, well, let's go with Ferdinand here. So, come out of the gate, and I've already lost. So, that clearly wasn't it, right? Okay, so going back and forth with the bull didn't do it. Maybe pushing the button. No, that doesn't do it either. Maybe I gotta hold forward? Okay, that worked for a little. Worked for a little. So there's something to that. So I'm holding forward right now. Still holding forward, and that didn't do it. Okay, so holding forward seems to be the right approach, unless the bull starts doing something. So I'm guessing maybe I have to spin the joystick with the bull's mosh. That seemed like it was working for a bit. And that you have to sort of push the direction the bull is facing in. Like, that would kind of make sense, given the kind of game we have on offer here. Yeah, that worked. So, still going forward. Bull's not doing anything. Oh, the bull's being real nice now. Okay, did a spin. Made it through. And yeah, I survived it. Okay, so I'm gonna guess the different bulls actually have like different personalities. Like, let's try Bob here. Oh, Bob is a lot faster. And I'm probably gonna do a spin at some point. Or he's just gonna knock me off? He didn't even try to spin. What was up with that? Okay, so I'm looking at the controls now in the manual, and I was sort of right, but sort of not. So the actual control, there's basically 3 different things the bull can do. The bull can either be going forwards, it can be halting, or it can be spinning. So if it's going forwards, you have to hold the direction it's moving in. If it's doing, what did it refer to again in the manual? It referred to as halting. If the bull is halting, you have to hold the opposite direction. And if the bull is spinning, you hold down. So maybe we can figure this out now. Like, I'm gonna guess there's gonna be some kind of indication when the bull's halting. Yeah, right like that. No, and then you've tossed me off. Okay, one more try and then I'm moving on. Oh, bull spin there. Yeah, it looks like it is possible to get to do that halt properly, but the timing is really tight. Okay, so this is the one I never heard of. The heather-splashed hills of Scotland are the birthplace of the ancient caber toss. In this famous event from Scottish Highland Games, athletes lift and throw a tree trunk the size of a small telephone pole. What? So, I mean, I guess we're throwing trees. Or rather, well, you know what? That looks like a pretty big log. So, I guess we gotta push the button. Or, I don't know, okay, it's that whole back and forth rhythm thing again. Okay. Like, I mean, doing the back and forth motion was what was getting me going, but... So it looks like there's like a certain rhythm you have to get to the walking. And then at a certain point... Yeah, I'm not quite sure about this yet. There's clearly some kind of timing to it. And I just dropped it on my head. No, that's not the way to do it. Oh geez, if you go too fast right from the start, it just falls on you. So yeah, it looks like what you have to do is you have to speed up the further into it you get. And then... I wonder how the toss is supposed to work, because you push the button to start tossing it, but there's probably some kind of logic in terms of getting it to go as far as possible. Whoops. Yeah, because if you hold the button down, you just sort of like start to stop. So I guess that's how you prepare to throw. So yeah, you need to go slow at first, then start speeding up. And then once the log's about to fall out, you do the throw like that, and there it goes. I actually got it. Oh, I'm probably doing it terribly, but the fact that I successfully threw the log means I figured out the controls for this one. So 3 out of 7. Maybe we'll at least get a 50%. Got one more game to go. And finally, Sumo Wrestling. Sumo is an ancient Japanese sport with many traditions. Two huge wrestlers grapple in a clay-surfaced ring, each trying to topple his opponent or push him out of the ring. In the elaborate pre-match ceremonies, the contestants throw salt to purify the ring. Boys must weigh 160 pounds at age 13 to enter sumo apprenticeship. And today's professional sumo wrestlers often weigh 400 pounds. That is a lot. Okay, so looks like we're ready here. So press button. Contestant. And computer. Okay. So, are we gonna start or... Oh, there it goes. So it looks like there's... Oh, what the... Okay, that was weird. When you get pushed out of the ring, there's no debounce. So the instant I got pushed out of the ring, it immediately brought up the play again thing, or the practice again thing. And because I was still wrestling with the controls, it somehow selected no and tossed me out of it. So, hang on, I gotta get back into there. Okay, let's try this again here. So, ready to go. Yeah, that went pretty fast there. So, let's try again. So there's clearly some kind of trick to this in terms of when to push the button and such. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to look at the manual for this one. Okay, I'm looking at the manual for the controls for this one. This game has 12 controls to it. There's 6 different directions that do things on the joystick, and they all do different things if you're holding the fire button down. Oh boy, it's one of these games. Okay. So let's see if maybe we can win a match, because these controls are not conducive to that. So, bend down. Nope. It's like all the computer's doing is just like pushing me. Oh, I'm rereading the controls and I missed something. It seems that it's not just holding a direction, you have to repeatedly tap the direction that you want to do the move for. Oh boy. Okay. I guess we're trying this one more time here. So, do the thing and... Nope. And it bounced me out of it again because, again, the moment you're out of the ring, there's like no delay between hitting a button and seeing the play again thing. So, okay, so that was World Games. So, looking at the event list here, I was able to figure out the barrel jumping, cliff diving, and caber toss without having to read the manual. Slalom skiing I almost had, and bull riding I almost had as well, but I ultimately did have to look those ones up. And weightlifting, log rolling, and sumo wrestling I could not figure out without the manual at all. So, but in terms of the quality of the games, so weightlifting is just a timing thing, so that's not too terrible. The barrel jumping, again, it's pretty traditional, moving things and pushing the button at the right time and then pushing another button at the right time, so that's not terrible. Cliff diving, it's a little... I was about to say a little shallow, but that's not a shallow cliff. But yeah, not as much flair to it as not as much flair to it as these two events, but you know, it still works. Slalom skiing, terrible controls. The controls in the slalom skiing are incredibly lagged, and if you push the button to try to go faster, it doesn't feel snappy at all. Like it's like you're trying to control a skier in molasses. Log rolling, could not figure it out. This game, this particular one just totally threw me off. Bull riding looks to be more about reaction, like reacting to what the bull's doing, and you've got very slim timing to get that right, but, I mean, it does work. Caber toss, there's a little bit finicky, but, you know, it does work. Sumo wrestling, definitely not one to play against the computer because the controls are so convoluted and you have to repeatedly tap them, which doesn't help when the game cancels out the moment someone rings out. So, yeah, I guess out of the entire package here, I would say about half of these mini games are acceptable, and then the other half are,